The narrative you paint to those close to you is very important to how they see your life and your perspective and your relationships, and it will affect the advice that they give you when you need it the most. So be careful not to paint yourself into a corner with the picture you paint to your friends. My first marriage was toxic and abusive. Surviving narcissism is difficult, and I'm grateful for the friends that I had to talk to back then, because I did lose my mind, but I would have lost it worse and much sooner had it not been for those people who listened to me talk about the darkness and the depths and the struggles. But what I learned from that is that when you cross that line, even if you're being honest, even if it really is genuinely that toxic, when you cross that line, there's no going back from that. Those people who care about you then have this perception that's filtered through all of their traumas and biases and everything that they've been through. So that if this moment of an argument or drama in your relationship is truly an encapsulated moment and not sort of the standard, we have to be careful with what we take to our friends and those in our circle, you know? And our friends, for the most part, if they're close to us, should see through a lot of that circumstantial, in the moment sort of anger, frustration, hurt, disappointment. Big difference between going to your friend pragmatically and talking about an issue versus going to your friend and talking about something from an emotional standpoint. Well, if that friend isn't in a place to really filter all that out, you're giving them the perception of your partner that is negative and maybe even unfair. You know, I mean, if you're complaining about this moment and you don't talk a whole lot about the good things, then you're going to skew that perspective. Now, I know that sounds pretty elementary, but where it comes into play is we keep our people close to us so that we have, I do at least, so that I have a council of advisors, so that I make sure I'm doing the right thing and making the good decisions. And I can go to them and say, you know, here's where I'm at. You want your friends to say, you want them to empower you if you're in a bad situation, but you also want a tempered, measured response if you're sort of just acting out of the moment. So be careful what you feed your friends as far as that kind of information and the perspective you filter it, because you're going to need that perspective, unbiased, pragmatic.